This episode of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circa Barrakiel, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimsdaughter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikto Robentau, Sapa Chakwatul, Edwin, Arcadia Lunashine, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grino, Elenriel Maximus, Coderith Novelist, Mira Miri, Suno Chicano, Celesto Nautrell, Lazy Boy, A Wild Sarah, Luke Osborne, Pandalu Storm Arrow, Tex, Kylin, Anethus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Biridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Neufafnir, Cheshire Saltiri, Celine DeLune, Woobster Wolf, Face on Masher, and Severa. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin episode 321. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anadar, and Rollo Des. Hello. Welcome. It is...
Oh no.
Oh no.
I was trying to do that very subtle, but alright. It is October 15th, 2022, and today's main topics, we have two Yoshi-P interviews that we need to go through. One with GameSpot and one with Famitsu.
I don't think one is a Yoshi-P interview. I think one is with the staff in general.
Oh, okay. Well, we're labeling. We'll get more views with just Yoshi-P in the title.
Yoshi-P.
So two Yoshi-P interviews.
They don't
today.
care about the guy who sucks the vending
No one
machines.
cares. If I can put Yoshi-P's face in the thumbnail, that's all I'll do. That's what we're doing. Yoshi-P.
Two Yoshi-Ps.
Also, we'll be talking about All Saints Wake, which is coming up in just a few days as of recording this. And that's it. We don't have any. We literally have no Mogmail. We have no Mogmail, so send us Mogmail. Speakersxv.com/Mogmail.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason is obviously because we've discarded some of the stuff that's run out, like that was time sensitive that we couldn't get to in time. So please send us Mogmail. Speakersxv.com/Mogmail if you have anything you want us to discuss on the show. Know now that if you've sent prior, that Mogmail is gone. Okay? So we have to start over. So send us Mogmail now, speakersxv.com/Mogmail. Stay tuned for the post show. Thankfully, we do have questions from the syndicate, so we'll be answering that as well. And of course, as with, I'll do this every episode throughout this month. Spooktober is still ongoing. Tomorrow, we will be doing...
Into the back room.
Yes, that is a multiplayer experience with VR support. So...
Then we're getting back to the Quarry, the horrible game with Jimmy. Song of Horrors on Friday. Tune in.
That is it. Yeah, those are the games. Well, the Jimmy game. I don't even remember what it's called. Something
At the
midnight.
Dead of Night.
At the Dead of Night. Is that what it is?
Or at Dead of Night. Yeah.
Okay, something like that.
Horrible game.
Go to speakersxv.com/spooktober22 for more information and the schedule. Okay, well, let's just jump into recent events. We'll start just quickly mentioning that there's maintenance on October 18th. That is for patch 6.25. Starting at 6 a.m. GMT until 10 a.m. GMT for those that use that. Mela, you're about to use GMT.
Oh yeah, I don't know when that happens. It might not. I think it's this weekend. So
last Sunday of October, isn't it?
It was fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm tired of daylight savings and all shit.
Aren't you done with it though? The US, you're not going to do it anymore. I think.
I feel like there was talk about it recently.
But you
I don't know if
still have to deal with it through us though, because we will be changing our times.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't it the case that the US has like officially abolished it, but it takes a while for it to be implemented?
Oh,
Same way that
classic.
has happened with like Europe.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's probably right.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
only a short maintenance anyway. It's the morning one, so you
Yeah.
can still play tomorrow and no Monday even.
yes. This is not a
if you want.
24-hour maintenance. This is just a very quick maintenance actually, from 7 to 11. So just a standard run-of-the-mill patch. So yeah, there you go. And of course, that is all because. It's not all because
All because
I'm,
of All
I'm
Saints
hyping
Wake.
up All Saints Wake a lot, but partially because they're implementing All Saints Wake as well.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
I think we should have a new catchphrase for the dev blog specifically. We should do it in this very specific voice. And every time we comes up, we're gonna be like,
What?
hello, we're speakers. We do it so you don't have to.
Okay.
There you go. That one's
We can
free.
keep that.
That
Yeah.
sounds new. I don't think I've ever heard that.
I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
original.
groundbreaking stuff there.
I know.
All right. Anyways, we'll get to the All Saints Wake blog post. This is by the dev team, or the what do we call these? Dev blog team, which
Developers.
developers. But it's the usual
community
suspects.
team. It says so in the first sentence.
Oh yeah, community team. It's starting to get greetings and salutations, everyone. Okiomi here from the community team. It's starting to get chili and pumpkin spices everywhere you go, signaling that fall is truly upon us, which means it's the season for All Saints Wake. The spooky seasonal event.
That's not true. I think January is the traditional All Saints Wake season. But
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
Okiomi.
The spooky seasonal event returns for the second time this year, returning to its usual spot on the event calendar.
So dumb.
With brand new quests and rewards. So let's look at what's in store. Starting on Wednesday, October 19th until November 1st. Speak with the Adventurers Guild investigator located in Old Gridania to accept the quest. And that's the Ellison dude you see in the artwork down below.
He has the Cassiopeia earrings.
Oh, he does have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
grinded for them and he deserves them. If you haven't grinded for them, you don't deserve them.
Right. Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll come to a
Oh,
Mogul
yeah,
Tome event
absolutely.
near you sometime.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
nothing is sacred except for the PvP mounts.
Yeah. What's kind of strange is that the event gear that we're getting gear.
We are getting gear.
I love it.
It's very. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a medical doctor, but with like a gas mask.
Like
It's-
a plague doctor, but with a
Without the
with more of a gas mask
I don't
fate
like
in.
this aesthetic. I find this very creepy. I find this the creepiest
Really?
outfit they've ever had. for a Science Wake event.
I
Yeah.
like it. It makes me, and I can't. I'm probably wrong. It's just probably just the aesthetic of it. But is it a reused alchemist like a class set?
Yeah,
factor?
that is the exact same thing I said the
Yeah,
other
we've
day.
been
Like,
thinking about this.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
No.
I think
I
it's
think
unique,
it's-
but it's
no, I
so
think it's
close
new.
to being an
It's the
alchemist.
satchels on the side that does it for me because I
Yeah.
know that exists in the
Mm.
game somewhere.
It's got the yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
it looks like it is just similar, which I don't like. I wouldn't have a problem with anyway if that was the case. I mean, sure, whatever.
Right.
I mean, I like it though. I think it's a good gear set. The mask
Yeah.
is.
I
spooky.
mean, having an alchemist's outfit that can be worn by any job is good.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's aesthetically appropriate for the season, but presumably the quest line will make it so.
The quest line will.
I mean, why
probably
not?
lead into
It's
this.
it's a common spooky just like Halloween outfit.
Is
kinda
it
looks like
But have.
the-
Well, yeah, like a kill, but
like a
Like a murderous doctor.
yeah,
it, from the neck down? Maybe it's like Mad Scientist, but it's the mask that
the
ma-
mask
yeah, the
kind of
mask is
reminds me
weird.
of what's that dude from the movie? Who's the man that ate people again?
Hannibal.
Hannibal
Lecter.
Lecter?
Lecter.
Yeah, when he's in the mask thing.
Oh,
It
right.
gives me more like Russian sleep experiment vibe.
Kind
Ooh,
of.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not. It's not. I mean, I don't know if it's very traditional Halloween to wear like a gas mask or like some sort of. It's like a Star Wars like sand trooper
can
mask
see
or
that.
something.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's
Yeah.
really strange.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
that's cool though, because I think you
Yeah,
have
it's
like a lot of
unique.
different pieces to use for clan.
Yeah.
Like together,
Yeah.
it's not wholly concise, but I think there's like I'd probably use this without the mask. Even I think it would look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Without the
Yeah.
mask, it would be a good sage glamour.
Yeah.
I'd rather they. Yeah, I like. Yeah, it's better than just rehashing the same job, like all Dragoon and AF gear and like all Black Mage AF gear is the same basically. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that. There's also a housing item, which is a caged wisp. So
Oh,
this is my favorite item.
it's spooky.
I
yeah,
think that's really cool.
what's cool about it is it's also dyeable, so you can get it in whatever color you like. It doesn't change the color of the wisp though.
No,
That's
I
the
think I
negative.
would have preferred if I could change the color of the wisp as opposed
Agreed.
to the cage, but
Yeah,
that's the decision they made.
yeah,
Also, it looks like it's just half cocked open at all times.
yeah.
Do you remember the Firefly cage from many years back? That's what I was hoping this would be more like, where you can open it and the wisp escapes and like flies around, or you
Right.
can cage it.
Yeah.
You mean the outdoor
Yeah.
item? Firefly
Yeah, it was an
cage one?
outdoor
Yeah.
Firefly cage.
Ah,
yeah.
okay, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would have been nice for this.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's cool. It's an indoor item this time.
Mm-hmm.
What
It
really?
has a hook to hang, but it can't hang.
Right. That's true. Also, it wouldn't hang very well though because the
Well,
cage is open. So
Yeah. Well,
Um,
actually, it's a bit weird.
it's an
it's
unusual
cool.
design for a cage, isn't it? If it's meant to hang, but that's how you open it.
Yeah,
It would
and
just
also
like
to be half open all the time.
yeah. Maybe that's not a hook for hanging. Well, I'm sure it must be.
Mm.
Well, it's a spooky
Yeah.
cage. Logic does not
So it's
apply.
Okay.
Spooky hook.
Yeah, it has teeth. Remember, as you can see, it has
I
little.
mean, you wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to get out the gap. It might
Yeah.
be a design choice to make it look like an open mouth.
Yeah, could also be a handle.
than-
That's true as well,
Yeah.
just for carrying.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's also an emote, and believe it or not, it's been 8 years, but we can finally eat that goddamn cookie. We can eat the
Yay.
pumpkin cookie.
The pumpkin.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's essentially just the animation for when you ate it.
Yes, but
So
now
yeah,
you
would
hold the
consume
cookie.
A pumpkin cookie.
Yeah, now you see the that too. You don't actually consume it. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, did
It's
we always
much different.
did it always have the
I
model?
think it always had the animation for. I think it did.
Oh, okay. So it's just okay. Well, okay. I guess I've
You
never
can
looked
eat
at
it
myself
without
eating
eating
them.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just like you can eat bread
like-
and
Yeah,
apple.
Yeah.
I like how they're getting so much use out of this eat blank
Oh,
emote,
Mhm.
like emote.
that's why I thought this was them just adding the model to an already existing emote. But this is just literally just giving us an emote that's already in the game.
Yeah. But
So-
just putting a different food item.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know what's sad? To not have a mobile housing item.
It's almost as if they heard us talk about it so much and they just stopped adding mobiles. It's funny because we were at peak mobile event items. We were shitting on it, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Just no more mobiles.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there's one more thing. So we of course have the haunted house this year. But they have expanded it to quite an impressive outdoor area, which looks pretty big.
Looks
Mhm.
pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks so. I think this is more effort than the last one. To be fair, though, I think
yeah,
the last one was so good. Like as in they reused the dungeon and
yeah.
kind of did some dressing up a bit. But this looks real nice. I don't know,
Yeah.
there's a lot to
Well,
it.
yeah, this one's more modeling work. The last one was more like the battle designer team, I guess.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. It was a dungeon. They made a little dungeon for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So you can hang out with your friends out here in the back of the haunted mansion, and of course you can dress up as all the usual characters that you're. Well, didn't they add? Did
New
they?
ones too.
And some new ones.
I don't think I have that slide in here, but
There's
the
woman.
ones they showed us were Pagaga,
yeah.
everyone's favorite little Lalafell from
Yeah.
from Zadnor,
Mhm.
Emiliance, Daddy Fortunate.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name at the moment.
Uh,
Mikoto and Valens which is
Yeah.
an interesting choice.
Did you call him Daddy Fortunault?
You
Which
said
is his
Daddy
name?
Fortunault because I don't remember his name. Fortunault is his name.
Yeah.
You can just remove Daddy.
He's a Leveilleur.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Leveilleur is
there we
the
go.
Yeah, that was
last
good.
name. Okay. Anyways, yeah, there you go. That's
Way
what
to
you...
have Pagaga.
Yeah.
Pagaga's very popular in Japan.
Yes.
I can believe that.
I can believe that too. No further comment.
I mean, she
Your
was
Honor.
so popular that her emote was put onto the mug station.
Yep.
That is true. Oh yeah, Daddy
Yep.
Day.
So that's All Saints Wake for this year. Look forward to that. We don't know anything
It's
about the
good.
storyline, really. As usual, there's the
No, it's called
The
A Mad
artwork's
Masquerade.
confusing,
yeah.
but we talked about that last week.
Mhm.
We still don't know what the gorillas are.
No, that's true. We
There's
don't
also
know.
a weird, like, creepy face underneath the Edison's arm,
Mm-hmm.
and
I think this is-
Oh, you're talking about the artwork.
yeah, there's also an artist rendition of I think that's a
Oh, we don't
Soma.
see it.
It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I like it. It's
Yeah.
a cool art piece. And
Yeah.
there's a little gaily cat
yeah.
having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
There's an orchestrion in the background. I think.
Yes.
So
I think we're having a
Mhm.
party. Well, it's called a Mad Masquerade, so I think we're throwing a party where we
yeah,
don disguises.
yeah,
It
So-
looks
We're
cool.
just gonna ruin the Continental Circus's party again.
yeah,
That's
Ah.
scary.
yeah.
They're never going to be able to make a resurgence of the good days of the void, I
Oh,
guess.
whoops.
I don't know, whatever they want to.
Please give him a chance. Come on.
Well, there you go. All
Yeah,
Saints
that-
Wake. Yeah. Anything
Let them
else to
steal
add?
the souls of the Gridanians.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why don't the elementals do anything about them?
Don't ask questions.
The elementals don't exist.
Okay, Mrs. Puff.
All right. Let's move on. There's been an update to the 6.2 website. So I think we should have a look. There's not much.
Okay.
We've been... What's interesting, actually, is that during the previous live letter, not this one, not the previous one, the one before that one, 72,
Mhm.
They blew their entire load on all of the patches up until, you know, the next big one. Which means we've been left in this weird gap where we kind of feel like we're good. You know, we're good on info right
Yeah.
now. We have it all. So it's kind of weird, but and of course because of that, there's very little to release because they've shown us everything. But here's here's the scraps that they threw our way. There's updates to the website with a variant dungeon,
I think
Sildine's
that
Subterrane.
one's new.
It
This
shows
one
the
of
UI.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, it does show
Oh,
the-
this one. Yeah,
I
this
think
one
the
shows the
middle one
UI
is
in
the-
English, by the way. This is...
Yeah.
Let's start here, and then we'll go back, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is the UI. Looks very nice, of course. Most new
She's a
fan.
monk.
stuff. Oh, yeah, she's a...
Yeah.
No, that's
unless
the
that's the
player.
character.
That's the character playing
Oh,
monk.
that's the character.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
that's-
it does an eye level
I'd
check.
prefer that.
Yeah,
That makes more
Okay.
sense then.
yeah.
Okay.
She's
I wonder
probably an
what role she
all-rounder.
technically has.
She might be an all-rounder.
I mean, I don't,
Well,
I don't
this
know if
is
she
the
needs a
s-
this role. Because
Oh,
This is
there's
the
no
solo
way
one,
she
isn't
would...
it?
There's no way she would be like a tank.
No. I want her to be like Minnie Mouse during that mission in Disney Castle. where she- or she can
That's a
actually run.
reference. That is a
Massive
reference.
spell.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
why not?
Okay, so yeah, is there anything to point out? There's some lore. There's lore entries, which I like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
A nice
there's
bunch to unlock by doing different routes and stuff.
yeah.
So this is the solo one, but you're getting
Yes.
25 new tomes. Isn't bad, depending
No.
on how long
And
it
you're going to be
takes.
doing it a couple of times because obviously there's
Yeah.
multiple endings.
So it's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
No info on the actions on here, but they showed them all on
Mhm.
the live let slides.
Yes.
Um,
And you see that there's a button at where it says register for duty where you can enable party matching. So that's sort of the duty finder
Mhm.
thing.
workaround.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, her father is one of the people that was a staunch advocate for the usage of beast tribes.
Oh.
Love that
Mm.
for him.
Mm.
Okay.
Maybe it was a good thing he died in some sort of freak accident.
Yeah, here's the.
This part looks like one of the dungeons that you've covered in Secrets of the Realm.
I think we've talked about this. We might have seen a similar, if not the same, screenshot. But yeah, it really is jarring to see it now. I mean, obviously there's more detail because it's a Realm Reborn. But sorry, I say a Realm Reborn. I mean, not 1.0. I'm noticing the thing that we're noticing with everything new that's being added to the game is that there's a lot more care put into lighting here. You can see it.
Well, it's a set piece, Ray, but it does look good. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, they have to work with what they have, but you wouldn't see this in like in a Realm Reborn dungeon where.
No.
If you look at well, they're sort of fixing
they're
that
adding
now,
them now,
but
yeah.
the old
They've also
dungeons were
talking-
very flat. All lighting was flat.
And they've got more lighting sources now. You can see that with how the lanterns have their own like
Oh, yeah.
circles of light coming off them.
Yeah.
Oh, bougie.
Yeah.
Mm.
The first picture we've seen a million times before, but there it is.
Yeah.
There's also the Criterion dungeon, which is getting getting a new screenshot. This is one we've seen before. Is there any text? Oh, sorry, I didn't read the text blur, but this one's very short. A request from a certain someone in Ul'dah has you packing your adventuring gear and descending once more into the underground waterways of Sildee. Whereas variant dungeons are casual story-based experiences which can be completed by solo players, Criterion dungeons will challenge a party of 4 adventurers with battles of punishing difficulty. Criterion dungeons are available in 2 difficulty levels and impose unique roles and restrictions, such as limiting character resurrections. Rules. What did I say?
Rolls.
Oh, sorry, rules and restrictions, such as limiting character resurrections. Assemble a band of trustworthy comrades to overcome every obstacle and explore every corner of the subterranean.
Do you have to trust them?
Trustworthy seems.
I think that's I don't know about that.
So, the chair.
Yeah. I mean, if this was a housing item, it's very pretty.
I am very torn on this because I think this is supposed to be a throne. It could be the Sultana's throne of Ul'dah, but it could also be Sildee. But
I feel like it's kind of a lame reward.
yeah, I
It is
agree.
a lame reward.
I think
But
I
I mean,
don't like the chairs because of their animations are just awful.
yeah,
I
because
Personally,
agree
I'm
that
not-
the end.
I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for the
Story.
content.
yeah.
Yeah. It does have them low poly grapes on the side. I don't think the animations on the chairs are very exciting, but I like how they find new and interesting ways to have your characters pose in them every single time.
Yeah.
That's true. And they change it based on like race and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's fun, but like I don't know.
For something
To
like
me,
a
like a
Criterion
horse
dungeon.
jumping into the air
Yeah.
is already bad. I don't like that because they just clop through the air.
My boys be clopping through the air, and he don't like it.
But
Unbelievable.
chairs,
The thing about chairs is that to me
it's a real cop out mount.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it feels like a cop out because we already have furniture in the game. It's not hard for them to change poses on a chair. It's already a system that exists in the game. They'll just make a new way to sit and then just slap it on. And then when you take off with the chair, there is no effect. It's literally just the same as when it's on the ground. It's just a floating fucking chair. There's also something strange about if this is like the throne of Sildee. Why the fuck are you flying around on the throne of Sildee? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
This essentially gives a law that the throne of Sildee was a flying machine.
Yeah.
Or has now been enchanted for no reason to fly.
Yeah.
We enchanted it, guys. We did it. It flies now.
I mean, maybe back in the day that was just like used as an intimidation tactic among the populace.
Maybe chairs were just like that back then. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
And
but
also,
otherwise, I don't think so.
the more they give us floating chairs, the more apparent, like the more egregious it becomes when you see Arenvald rolling around in a wheelchair.
Right. Yeah.
Like I have to assume he's making a lifestyle choice at this point
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the options are there.
Yeah. Well, what I don't, the fact that it's an actual historical throne doesn't really bother me anymore, because mounts aren't canon in the game anymore, it seems, so it doesn't matter. But this is supposed to be a reward for like a criterion dungeon, which is supposedly very difficult. If this is the carrot at the end of the stick, I'm not sure if that carrot is big enough for me. I think that's quite not great, but I think it is Sildi actually. Isn't grapes one of Sildi's?
The fruit of knowledge.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Well, we
that
can't
might
see
be.
the other one. The other one might be the scale. I can't remember the other symbol of Sildi.
I don't remember.
One of them had a gold and one of them had silver
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Watch its grapes though.
I don't
Those are
remember.
some good
Just represents
flame. Is it the flame? Yeah, because they took the flame from Sildi and put it into the
Belladai.
Yeah, Belladai is
flame-
flame and
no.
fruit, and then Sildi became the fruit,
Took the
and
Sildi-
Uldar the flame.
Yeah, so the Sildi took the fruit, and then they came up with one other one that I can't remember.
Yeah.
The four symbols are all in the Sunken Temple of Khan.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Belladai was pre.
Belladai was pre. Belladai broke,
Yeah.
and out of
Yeah.
Belladai came Sildi and Uldar.
Uldar and
And they
Sildi,
took
yeah.
one
Yeah.
symbol each
Yeah,
for
yeah.
their own sigil.
The Gem of Affluence. No, I think the Gem of Affluence is Uldar.
Yes, the Gem
I
of
think Uldar took
Affluence. They have the
Yeah, Uldar took the gem and the flame.
Oh,
and
is it the
then-
helm?
Yeah, it's the helm.
The
Yeah,
Helm of
okay.
Might, I think, is what Sildi had. Yep, so there you go. It's neat for that, I guess. It's cool to see the throne of Sildi. I don't think... Have we ever seen the throne of Uldar? It's that...
I can't
that's not-
remember going into her room.
Uldar, but I guess not.
Wasn't she on the? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because the one in the Syndicate chamber surely is not her throne. Wouldn't she have a
No.
separate throne room?
Yeah, she would, but I can't remember if I've ever been in there.
No, I don't.
Probably have.
Have we seen it?
I don't
It was
remember.
Raubon's shoulder. Yeah, that's true. That's the real throne
If
of
we
Uldar.
have, it would have been in the Realm Reborn, probably. Like
Yeah.
later Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
Because we don't talk to Nanima much anymore.
No, that's
Especially
true.
not in Uldar itself.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing that I'm looking at. I'm looking at all. I like the design of it. I'm looking for all the like clues. Like, oh, what are the leaves? What are the significance of the leaves at the top? What do
what
they
of the
represent?
grapes?
Yeah,
It even has 2 ashtrays.
that's cool.
is nice.
Nice to have that.
I'm guessing they're not ashtrays and more
A
like that's where
holder.
they put their like
It mi-
fruit.
yeah, it's probably like a fruit thing.
Yeah. Grapes on one side.
Yeah, grapes and helms on the other.
And helm on the other.
Yeah, so that's Criterion Dungeon. That's it for I think that's it.
No, there's
for-
more.
Oh, there's more.
There's a couple more. The next one is the Omicron tribe quest one.
Yeah.
Did I go past it? No.
No, slow
Yes.
it down.
Oh, it's.
But this website's a little bit janky.
No,
Sometimes
he went
pictures
too
don't
far
load.
down.
Did I
It's
go?
up.
I did go far. Okay, I'm going back up.
There you
it
go.
is.
This does. Oh, I see. I was looking.
The-
I was looking for the green dot next to the headline, but not. Okay, it's in the picture.
Yeah.
I
The
see.
description is also new.
The recently established last dregs may yet lack much one expects of a cafe, a recognizable logogram, little jars of creamer, patrons, but Omicron N7000 and not Omicron... Huh? But
Not
Omicron...
Omicron jamming way. He's a loperet.
Oh, I see.
He's
And
a-
not
he's a
Omicron
Omicron.
jamming way
Yeah.
persevere. I got through it. I got through the sentence.
You
These
got
these unlikely partners in coffee are determined to brew fresh hope until Ultima Thule brimmeth over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some new photos or pictures. This I'm assuming this is the Loperet, the non-Omicron
It's jamming way.
jamming way. We've seen this before, and then there's a
Yeah.
picture of the mount that we've
Oh,
also
that
seen
looks so
before.
great.
I love that mount.
Yeah,
See, this is one that they've not overdone yet, the
Mhm.
miniaturization mount,
Mhm.
but they've already made 2 really good designs out of it.
yeah,
Keep this up.
Mhm.
yes. And this one also has more to it. When you like
Look
fly,
at it.
there's like
Yeah,
sparkles.
it's so cool.
Is that supposed to be like a swimming animation they're doing? I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah,
It
it
might
looks
be one
it
of the
looks
default
like
swimming animations. Yeah.
it looks
He's
like
drowning in it.
well,
yeah.
it kind of looks like how we float in when we're in the crystal. You know, the crystal. You know, the floaty
yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there is
One
a little
more
bit
at the very
down here. There is the new emote, which is the
yeah.
excited
the,
or whatever.
right.
this
/
is.
wow.
Anime emote.
think-
Yeah.
I think we first saw this with Graha
Yeah, I saw people post that.
when he first met Estinian.
Yeah, it might be that. But with sparkles now. So, yeah.
Mhm.
There you
Cool.
go. Okay.
Cool sparkles.
Well, let's jump into some, as I've branded them, Yoshi... Oh, we don't have Mogmail this
No,
week.
no.
Some Yoshi-P interviews. Let's start then with
What
GameSpot.
is that snake?
I like it. What is it from?
It's the snake of...
It's like it's got a like a.
It's the
a
royal
Moogle
snake.
crown or something.
It's a royal snake. I don't know what the snake is. I googled Yoshi-P, and this is one
Okay.
of the results I got in
That's
photos.
nice art.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's start with GameSpot. This is about patch 6.2's success, which is very specific. I don't think we've read an interview about like a post-expansion patch, like about just that specific and how successful a patch is. But here we are.
No.
We do something new every now and then. Here we go. Final Fantasy XIV Online continues to enjoy plenty of success with its latest update. The latest major patch for Final Fantasy XIV Online, patch 6.2, added new quests, dungeons, and raids. Unusual. The patch also added additional long-awaited chapters to some of the storylines in the MMORPG, as well as the all-new Island Sanctuary, an almost Animal Crossing-like island for players to enjoy and explore.
Ish.
What?
It's closer to like. I feel like it's close to like a Harvest Moon style game. There's not really anyone to talk to.
That's true.
Animal
Yeah.
Crossing is more about the villagers.
Yeah. You're essentially building a little town. Yeah, so...
Yeah. Maybe one day people will move in.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. They didn't talk about that, didn't they?
I don't
Like,
want-
you might
No,
get...
look, everyone gets their own island. I don't want anyone else moving in on my island. I want my
Squatters
neighbors
on
to
my
be
island?
like, yeah, exactly. I want neighbors to be like kilometers of water away.
Ah.
Thank you very
Uh-huh.
much. Or
Uh-huh.
I'm
yarn.
gonna send my Cecily to your island, and you can stuff her.
Poor
You
Cecily.
don't own Cecily.
Okay, following the release of patch 6.2, GameSpot emailed Final Fantasy XIV Online director Naoki Yoshida to ask several questions about the update. The answers we received are transcribed below. How have you found the experience of starting up a whole new story after getting out of one that lasted so long? Yoshida says, I must say, concluding a story that continued from the original Final Fantasy XIV made me feel relieved. That said, a new adventure doesn't mean that the story up to this point is all going away. It'll be a continuation of the story thus far. As for our team, we're constantly thinking, how can we get everyone excited? So even if we're working on a new story, our everyday experiences remain largely unchanged. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of wrong to say that the story ended. The arc ended, but the story doesn't. Like, we haven't just brand new game now because story changed. That's not how this works. With patch 6.2, you have made some notable changes to cutscenes following specific dungeons to go along with adding them to the trust system. These seem like great opportunities to go back and enhance them. Are there any old scenes you wish you could redo a certain way, or are excited to revisit? We're still in the middle of integrating the duty support feature into existing content and working our way up. I didn't have too many elements specifically I wanted to change, but one of the themes of Heavensward, which we updated in this round, was traveling alongside allies, so it was one of the things I wanted to revisit for sure. Yeah, it's all about duty support. What is your favorite part of the new Island Sanctuary mode? Yoshida says, there are a lot, but I like being able to play without needing to hurry and having the freedom to play by myself. Incidentally, I have yet to step foot in the Island Sanctuary on my personal account. So
Whoa,
Oh,
that's
okay.
surprising.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I guess there's no pressure to do it, so I mean, it makes sense.
Well, no.
yeah. I've been thinking about leisurely enjoying my island sanctuary life once the other content has settled down. So
That sounds nice.
I mean, that's
I
the
like
point
that.
of it, isn't it? Is that it's
I wish more people played the game like Yoshi-P.
yeah. What does that mean?
He
Well,
means
it's
you're
just-
playing the game wrong, Keel. Get it right.
Yeah. I don't know. So there's always this pressure in this game to do everything on day one, isn't there? And this content was nice in that there was no real need to.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about this is compared to other content is that it's not tied to anyone else.
Well,
No one can
yeah.
like ruin your experience of it.
No, that's true. Speaking of new modes, if you could add any game type like survival or battle royale to Final Fantasy XIV without any
Come on, a
restrictions,
VR.
what would you like to put in? Ishida says, without any restrictions. It's quite unrealistic for me. Yeah.
All right, Kyogi.
So I'm unable to picture that in my head. Final Fantasy, yeah, but he is, I mean, we know why. This is Spaghetti Town. Final Fantasy XIV has its fundamental systems that make it 14, along with its server systems. So any content that would be implemented into Final Fantasy XIV would have to abide by those restrictions. With that in mind, while ensuring we don't lose that Final Fantasy feel, I do think that the idea of content using blue mages could be interesting.
Oh.
I agree.
I
You've
imagine.
talked about this before, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. I imagine there'd be a vast field where you can learn blue magic spells from enemies and other players, and everyone would fight to be the last one standing using the spells they learned. It'd be nice if I could make it a reality one day, but for now, the currently planned content takes priority.
I
So a
would
blue
really
mage
like-
battle
Good
royale.
idea.
Yeah.
It is a
Blue
good idea.
Royale.
Yeah.
The only I guess the hardest part is spawning, because obviously on a BR, you usually like pick where you're gonna land and
Yeah.
move out from there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we dropping, boys? Let's go.
Right.
Lisa. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's just the overworld.
Yeah.
I would suspect it wouldn't have anything that advanced. So I don't think this game could handle it. I feel like you would look at a map, and then you just like click where you
Click
want
where
to
you wanna
spawn
go,
into
yeah.
this map.
Yeah, it'd be the most spaghetti thing that they have to.
And it will be like
Oh, but it'll be
predetermined little
so
zones
fun.
that you have to click on, like an Ethernet
Yeah,
system
that's the other
almost.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar
I'm like
to
level
with,
1
like-
Bloomage, but I got Night Bloom, so I'm gonna be pretty OP this round.
Similar to the original Eureka and the second Eureka, where like you start on a random island of 8.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try it, Yoshi-P. Try it.
Yeah. Not exactly a 6.2 related question, but as a big fan of Hildebrand, I was excited to hear the new relic quests are tied to his story. What made you decide to do this? More Hildebrand is always a good thing. That's okay. Yoshida says, there's always a lot of ideas when we brainstorm what to do for the next weapon enhancement content. At the same time, we also receive lots of feedback from our players. This time, rather than designating it to its own content, we settled on the idea of enhancing the weapons alongside a story, and Hildebrand turned out to be a good match for that. Not to mention, Hildy's back with us again too.
That he's not actually tied to it. The story is tied to progressing a certain point into Hildebrand's questline, but as far as we can tell, they're not actually involved with it. It's a Godbert and Geralt side thing.
Well, he does say that the idea is enhancing the weapons alongside a story, and Hildebrand turned out to
Maybe
be a
it's
good
like a
match.
side
I mean,
story
Godbert
based on
is
Hildebrand.
part of the
he's a
Hildebrand
Mandeville
story.
man,
Yeah, he is part of the story.
doing
as well,
whatever a
so.
Mandeville man can.
Mela,
or
you've
whatever.
been doing Hildy today, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a bit of Hildy today. I've been chuckling along.
Where are you in the storyline? Like,
I'm just finishing up a Rum Reborn, which I think is the longest stretch of them.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
You haven't
and then
gotten to the second trial though yet, have you? Or the third trial?
I'm on the last quest, which will open up the
The
battle on the big bridge.
keep.
Yeah,
Right.
or keep. Yeah.
Keep. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it'll be Heavenswood and Stormblood, which only have like 2 quests a patch, so they're going to not be as bad, I don't think.
They are quite
They are
beefy,
long.
though.
They're long. but-
Yeah, that's good.
Mela
Yeah.
got to experience the dragon's neck for the first time.
Yeah,
We lost by ring out.
yeah.
Oh,
I
the
fell out.
dragon's net. Oh, right. I forgot that that's a Hildebrand thing. Yeah. God, I haven't done that
It
in
was
so
pretty
long.
fun though.
Yeah, it's a good
I
fight.
don't see how you thought that. I don't
Well,
think
that
it's
it
a
was
good
fun?
fight. Mailer
Hildebrand?
barely saw half the mechanics. He
Oh.
didn't see the weights drop.
Oh, I
He
see.
didn't see
Well,
the giant tentacles.
Oh, did you
I'm
unsync it?
No, we didn't
synced
unsync it.
Oh, and
I'm
it's
up for doing it min-eye level sometime to see more, but this is a trial with 2 tanks and 2 bosses, and I'm always for that.
okay.
It's a good idea. They need to do this in the proper raids.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
want
if it
a
happened-
full fight with 2 bosses.
A full fight. Okay.
Yeah, because when
Yeah.
when it came out, it was wild. This is what I mean. You kind of missed out on the crazy fights that you
Yeah.
get in Hildebrand, is because they're really out there. Some of them, like that
Yeah.
one specifically, they're very unusual fights. But hey, I mean, you're getting them now.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah. So
Just like laugh tracks in the background.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I love that.
I love it.
Right. That's that interview. I can't wait for the. I'm just so I don't know how to. When the Relic Quest comes out, I wonder how much shit it's gonna get, because I know that a lot of people are like like they're going through the quests now and they're like seething. Like a lot of the people that never did Hildebrand are like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do Hildebrand. I just can't wait for the wave of anger when the
What's their issue?
because I don't know.
They have no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to be that mean. I think Hildebrand has a specific sense of humor, and then some people just don't jive with it at all.
Oh,
That-
but it's
That
just
would be a
so
valid
good.
point.
I mean, you can just skip through though, for God's sake.
If you have
Yeah.
to skip through them,
and
fine.
I've had this before, and I know that I'm gonna get shit because people get so angry for things in this game. But the relic quests were always kind of funny. Geralt is a
Yeah.
funny character, and don't
Geralt
just
is
tell
a
me that it
humorous
was
character.
only funny when we did the thing in the Bosnian Resistance part. Because if you go
he's
further
always
back,
been that way.
do you not remember the fucking rap cover album post that Geralt and the old man did? Like they stood,
Yeah.
dude, and
I was
the fake message that was like, oh, there's a 0.00001%
Yeah.
chance. Do you really want to go forward? The whole quests has been like a joke. So I mean, yeah, maybe I think a lot of people are remembering the one storyline that was more serious, the anima,
Yeah,
because
Heaven's-
that
yeah,
was
that
the
a little
one
serious.
time that it
Yeah.
was really serious.
I think the anima is the most self-serious of the Relic Quest line.
Yes.
But even Heavenswood had the generic backstory of Geralt's eternal debt to
Yes,
Rowena,
yes, yeah,
and that's the joke of it.
yeah. I mean, okay,
But
you don't
we're
like
even
Hildebrand,
gaining
that's
on
fine.
it because now we know there might even be a little bit more to him and Rowena after
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
Shadowbringers ones. 'Cause there was
Oh.
Well,
the
that
funny
was just
scenes of them
his-
in. Yeah, but it was funny. and it
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, but
Maybe
that's
he's
just
into it.
Yeah, but Rowena's not.
No, Rowena
Well,
is
no.
not into Geralt.
But Rowena's not into anything. She's
Only
She's
money.
in the money.
She's into
she's a
money.
one-dimensional woman,
Yes, she is. She is.
money focused.
We love a one-dimensional queen.
We
do.
we stand.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the Famitsu interview. These are this is translated, obviously, because Famitsu is a Japanese game magazine.
By M. Killerby. He's the person.
Oh, it's
or
Killerby
he or she
again.
Is,
Hey, Killer
yes,
Bee.
they're the person that do most of the translations of stuff on the subreddit.
Yes.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Okay, so these are in bullet points style. So let's just go through them. This is with Yoshida and Fox Clan. They were commenting on the milestone of 27 million registered accounts, which I feel like we didn't really mention a lot. I think it's because we're kind of over that. We're kind of over the registered
just
accounts thing.
It's just a number I can't think of anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't imagine it.
Well, also
s-
because it's not representative of the amount of people actually playing the game.
No, and it's also that's true. And I really stopped caring when the free trial was expanded, because you register an account to get the free trial. So they are
No, it's active players. There's like 1 million people per server.
A million bajillion
now
thousand.
that's what
There's a
Million
million
people.
people per server, and yet I still spent 30 minutes in queue.
That's what they want you to believe, obviously. They want to deceive you with these numbers. But you have to remember that this includes free accounts as well. This is just people that have registered to play the game.
You're
and they may
looking
have...
at a number of thousands of people per server. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the monthly fee in euros or the pound mailer?
I think that if you're doing like those single characters, like $7.99, and then otherwise $9.99. Maybe it's like a tenner.
Yeah.
But then you add
Okay,
on costs.
So
for...
if every one of those 27 million accounts was registered and still paying their subscription by the month, they would be Square Enix would approximately be making £269 million per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
they're
obviously...
clearly funneling directly into NFTs or something because they're not using it.
As they should, Mela. How dare you ever suggest otherwise?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
dude, I am an ape, or whatever
They took the
what-
apes. and they
Remember that
divorced.
was a type of NFT.
Oh,
Stupid monkey thing.
right.
Yeah,
I
the
see,
monkey
I
is
see, I
ape
see, I see.
people.
Yeah. God,
That was the big one.
what a bad time
That's
that
why.
was.
Hey, maybe the reason Yoshi-P wanted to make 16 is like, I want to see some of that money that I make. I want to
Mm,
get to use it sometime.
yeah. Okay, Yoshida says the team has never had a particular goal when it comes to this number, but thanks all the Warriors of Light for making this number possible. Foxclan also comments that, as global community manager, he has noticed an even greater variety of opinions and feedback from players, and he feels that compared to before, rather than one majority community, there are now many different, sizable sub-communities within the player base. But only in, like, Japan, of course.
Oh,
The Japanese
yeah.
communities.
But his waste paper bin has never been more full with these comments.
with the Western comments, just
Yeah.
a big bin. On the idea for Foxclan's
Sorry?
costume, for some reason that was hard to say. Foxclan's costume. The idea again came from M-chan, which is Matsuda Nao, the assistant producer. There were different candidates, but the theme for this year was to be cute. So
Nice.
Loprit ended up getting picked. Foxclan says
Cute.
more than anything, he's glad to bring people joy with his cosplay.
That
I
wasn't
think
cute. though.
you missed you missed the mark on that one. Cute?
No.
Is
Moe.
cute a Japanese word for like sleep paralysis nightmare? Even?
No, he was very fucking moe.
Yeah.
Fucking kawaii, kawaii des. How dare you?
He did bring me joy.
It did bring me
Yes,
joy. It
that's-
did
I
bring me
don't-
immense joy, but
I
also
don't
fear.
know if it was from.
Yeah. It was mixed. It was mixed, but good. It was a good attempt.
I hated his nose.
I hated his eyes. The
His eyes were the
blue,
creepiest
the like
part.
light blue contacts.
Oh,
It
God.
fucked me up. Okay, on the new Savage tier, Yoshida says that based on listening to feedback from players and live streams, etc., many people challenged Savage for the first time with Abyssos. You might feel Savage is too difficult when you first try it, but eventually you get used to it. He says that since right now a very large number of people are trying 14 for the first time, it's almost a history repeats itself situation. I wonder what he means by that. Is it like people are complaining that it's too difficult? Is that what he's like?
I guess so.
Okay, I see.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a level. Maybe it's a newer breed of gamer who's a little bit more impatient or something.
I don't think it's a new breed of gamer. I think it's just because there are new players that are trying Savage for the first time, and they're used to playing like, you know,
Oh,
guild
this
hests.
game doesn't set you up for Savage. That is
No.
true. There's no There's like brain dead simple content and then
Yeah.
Savage, and it's
Like-
hard to prepare for it.
One moment you're doing like guild hests, and then the other you're like, maybe I should try this Savage thing, and then you know there's a bit of a leap from guild hest to Savage raiding. So at that point
Yeah,
you'd be
I've
like,
just learned
this is
how
too
to
difficult.
lure a giant turtle to a bit of bread on the
Right.
floor,
yeah,
and now I'm trying Ultimate Bahamut.
yeah, and that requires timing in the guild hest, you know, to get that
I mean,
that tortoise to
That
get
was
to
hard.
yeah.
because everyone kills
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
You're not going directly to Ultimate Bahamut. I think this requirement is still that you have to beat
Oh,
Oh
some
no,
Savage tier fight.
true.
no, I we'll just buy an unsync clear of this. We get straight because we're ready for it. We're done
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Yogi.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Mhm.
God, I can't believe you brought up the memory of the fucking tortoise skill test. That sucked
It's
so
the
much.
it's the one that's the most in my mind.
I had a macro for that immediately outputted in chat. Do not kill the tortoise.
But I hit what number? Go
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
Die?
Yeah.
The worst skill test is the one where you have to kill them all at the same time, because if you get a bunch of new players to collectively work together and do that, it's very difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
It was trying to set you up for a Good King Moggle, but it failed.
Well, don't worry, that's not what you do in the new Good King Moggle. Have you had a chance to do that
No.
fight? I don't think we've discussed it.
Haven't done it.
Not yet.
don't.
Weirdly,
Not that I'm
but,
aware
I've
of.
not had a reason to do it, really.
I think I just have to. Well, no, I guess you can't. There's no NPCs for it. Never mind. I guess I just have to queue into it one day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One day I'll get it on my...
in trial roulette. It's good.
Okay.
It's not like nonsense.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I hate to hear it. I don't like that. It should be nonsense.
I want more nonsense. Okay, anyways, moving on. Regarding data center travel for Savage Party Finder, the situation with... Sorry? Data center travel for Savage Party Finder. The situation
Yeah, I
with...
remember that there were people traveling onto a certain...
Oh.
Because there was one DC that was the raid DC.
I see, yeah. The situation with JP players traveling to Mana for Party Finder is broadly as the devs expected it. And the same situation hasn't happened to the same extent in the other regions. He says he will continue to monitor the trends here in 6.3 and beyond. Yeah, because
We have
usually
very established raid communities on
Yeah.
all DCs here.
well,
And then
yeah,
America.
because you kind of know where the raid servers are, and so if you are a big raider, you kind of exist on that server.
Yeah, I think some of the bigger Chaos ones moved to light as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already got the established ones, and then obviously like Ragnarok and whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're all good.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's just a big issue in Japan.
So people
I'm
just don't.
surprised that there's so much congregation in the Japanese one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd
It
think
is-
there would just be like a healthy split, like there is here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Island Sanctuary. Yoshida says there will be small changes, such as UI updates in each patch. Oh, I hope, for God, just
Collect all.
collect all, just please.
Yeah.
For major updates, such as new buildings, or, as announced on the live letter, allowing the placement of outdoor furniture will be once every 2 patches. Will the updates...
Okay, so 6.4.
Yeah. Will the updates continue past 7.0? He says he will decide based on player feedback. If people say they would prefer to expand the current island, the devs will keep developing the current content. But if people say they want a second island, he wonders if they can find a second island. He laughs.
No, we don't want a second island, but we want.
Because
I think we would like expansion of the current one.
I think essentially the problem they're facing is that it's an island. You can't really expand the landmass.
Expand it.
Yeah. So
No, but you can add features like you can add in I don't know, something to do with the water. So like fishing ships you can send out for new maps.
Build a dock.
Yeah.
building a dock
There's
would be
loads
nice.
you could do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let us reclaim land.
Adding caves to explore.
Yeah, caves are like a mine that you just send workers down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Those you can do.
Maybe you can do a little bit of like roguelike content or something. Like
Yeah.
if you do a little mine you go into to get some rewards.
Yeah.
A little
That would
battle
be so
content in
fun.
there.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very surprised that
like
there
a-
were no caves originally.
Do like a darkest dungeon type thing where you send the fucking mammoths into it.
Yeah.
And they get stresses.
Yes,
Yeah.
fight my mammoth.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. On the 10th, around Reborn anniversary next year, Foxlon and Yoshida hint at big plans for the next 14-hour live stream, the FanFest, and other events. The operations and communications team are currently at a stage where they're thinking, can we really do this? The master of
hype
hyping.
pair.
Yeah.
The hype here, and then when it push comes to shove, it will be a set of earrings in game.
yeah.
No.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. But
He'll change the lodestone to be a different color.
yeah. Oh, we've updated the design of the lodestone.
I mean, the lodestone was very Web 2.0 for the longest period of time before they did that
That's how
for
it
a
should
couple of
stay.
years.
I love the old lodestone.
Yeah, I love the old design. Okay, Ishikawa. This is now moving away from Yoshida and Foxconn. We now have Ishikawa, Oda, and Hiroi. All of the MS or the story. What do we call them?
The scenario writers.
Scenario writers, that's the word I'm looking for, yeah. Hiroi comments on the differences he has found between writing for theater, where he worked with his own company he founded before joining the 14 team in 2014, and for video games. He feels that theatrical scripts are often written in such a way that they push the creator's individual ego to the forefront. When it comes to this game, there's already this umbrella of Final Fantasy XIV, underneath which there's an existing player base with their own expectations, so the starting point is very different. That's interesting. That's an interesting view on that.
I mean, I suppose that is true.
Yeah.
You make theatre, like, you make your own personal place, like, push your agendas, I guess.
Yeah. You're not as free here.
Getting into scenario writing for video games is interesting because I don't think or at least I don't think Ishikawa and Hiroi have like a background in like video game development. So I want to know like how one decides to go from like a writing background into specifically video game writing. It's an interesting like lateral move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We saw that during the and I didn't realize how different like writing for or producing for a video game, like a story, like with the cutscenes, so how different that is from like filmmaking. Like we saw their storyboards is like an Excel, like it was a weird, like it was all in text, but of course, like we talked about when we covered it live, it's probably because they can't draw things that they can't implement in the game. Like they know the limitations, so they have to just write,
There are probably certain cutscenes, like I know there's the final fight against Xenos. Like there are probably ones where they can more storyboard them out, like in a traditional way. But like, those are probably they probably set those aside at the start and say these are the ones we can afford to put more budget in. So these are the ones we'll start like more a traditional storyboard into it.
What's interesting is that this obviously it's cheaper to do it the way they're doing, where they're like we're working within the limitations than I guess they draft up storyboards for like the bigger ones, but 1.0 was essentially all going to be like full production storyboards, cutscenes, and you can see it. But if you think about it, that would never work in the long term. That game would have bled that company dry.
There would be the amount of cutscenes would be really low.
Yes,
there
and that's
either
also
would be
what
a
happened.
very short story if everything was cutscenes,
Yeah.
or the amount of there'd be a lot of walking around talking to people and then moving on.
Yes. Okay.
Also, Chad is correct. Ishikawa has a strange way of doing writing anyway, because she might make some notes.
Oh yeah, she is obsessed with. Yeah, that's true.
Or Notepad.
Yeah, Notepad. Oda and Ishikawa commented on how they see Hiroi's work. Oda says he is grateful for having the opportunity to move up to a management role of the entire scenario team. It does have a reputation as being a behind-the-scenes role, but it's actually the most important for delivering patches on schedule. Ishikawa says he's a hard worker and mediates between all of the teams. Like, he meditates? Hiroi comments on what he'd like to focus on as the lead story writer moving forward. He says the flow of the emotions of the characters, their sadness and joy, and how this touches the player. Also, how the player's emotions change by the characters. This is the kind of thing he has done in his theatrical career previously, and it's a point he's particularly focusing on here on out. He adds that, I'm writing while saying I'm so sorry to the characters. And then he laughs.
And then he laughs, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to create some good suffering.
Yes.
Some good suffering content.
Yeah. Hiroi also comments on his work on the Pandemonium storyline. Since La Habrea is a character everyone already knew, he wondered if he should go quite so far. But at a certain point he decided to not hold back, and it ended up quite close to what he originally intended. He says this is the sort of direction he would like to keep up in his future writing.
I mean, La Habrea had a very minimal character before.
Yeah, he was a blank slate almost. So, yeah.
He was a generically evil man.
Yes.
He's just a silly little dude.
Yeah.
Now he's a generically evil man with a son.
Yeah.
Not really evil so far in Pandemonium.
That's true.
No.
Who knows what happened?
It was Yoshida's idea to give La Habrea voice lines in Abyssos, thus bringing back iconic character voice actor Ikeda.
I like that you read that as character voice actor. The character is called Char.
Sorry?
That's funny.
Oh, Char. Oh, I thought he was a character voice actor. Oh, I see. Okay, Char.
No.
Okay, I don't
I
know
don't know how it's
anything.
pronounced. I've only ever read
Char?
this name.
From Gundam.
It's Gundam character.
Oh,
It's the bad guy from, well, it's a Gundam thing. That's why I knew
okay. Yeah, Ikeda Shuichi. Yeah. He suggested it several times during the writing boot camp.
Full times.
Should we give
that
La
idea I
Habrea
had?
voice lines?
Yeah, remember that? I think it would be a good idea.
Yoshi-P. Voice lines for La Habrea.
Yeah.
I hope you haven't
Right.
forgotten. I'd really like La Habrea to have some voice lines.
Right,
in Abyssos.
you're out of the boot camp.
Ishikawa says, well, there are trade-offs to do with costs and such. The devs would like to give Themis some voice lines in the final part. Some voiced
Ooh,
lines.
I want to hear his old man voice. In
Yeah. Oda confirms the third encyclopedia.
Did you know who?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, Rollo. Do you know who voices Themis in the Japanese version?
I feel like I heard about it recently, but no.
It's the same voice actor that plays Quora in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Just who in Ava?
Kaoru.
Oh, Kyle. Okay, that line. Wow, actually, he just voices a type, huh? That makes sense.
Yeah, he does voice a type, and I'm surprised. Because that's a specific. I talked about this in the previous episode. It's a specific type of like Japanese archetype character, and I don't know why I didn't make that connection before. That Themis / Lidibus is supposed to be that character.
Didn't we talk about this? On
I just
literally
said that we did.
on the last episode? Or he wasn't
Yes.
here. I see.
I wasn't here. Sorry.
I guess. Okay, Oda confirms the third Encyclopedia Eorzea will cover Shadowbringers and Endwalker. We talked about this. He also adds that he wants to write the book about how the people of the world of 14 reacted to the recent events.
Will we get a societal reaction to the non-existence of Heidelin?
Oh, we get to talk about the aliens. We like, yo, they're out there and they're real.
Yeah.
God.
Ishikawa comments on the side quests she's writing for 6.3, side quest. She says it's not necessarily something she had requests to write about, but something she herself wants to touch on now she has the chance. She says not to worry, we will immediately know what she means when it's announced. Oda adds that it's something he's quite a big fan of. He says it's like, oh, I see, this person has come here. Hiroi adds it's something only Ishikawa could write about.
Xenos is back.
I hope not. The last
Return of Xenos.
storyline she wrote, besides the MSQ, was the into the what was the Omega story, like single quest from 6.1? What was that called? Beyond the Rift.
Oh yeah.
That was the last thing she wrote. So maybe it's on a similar wavelength as that.
What, like a fan favorite, like series thing? Like with
I was
Omega,
more so
or...
thinking like a character discussing, like a storyline that discusses the nature of like humanity, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see when it's
We'll see.
announced. Hiroi comments on people's worries that Oda and Ishikawa have left their positions of main story writers. He says that now they're supervising, they have passed on their experience across the scenario team. Addressing people who are worried about him taking charge of the main story, he reassures that Oda and Ishikawa are still on the team and he's taking up a relay baton from them. The greater division of labor between multiple staff on the scenario team is also leading to interesting developments in patch 6.1 and 6.2, he says.
What does that mean? That makes me feel like what they're saying is like, because there's more people, there's more inconsistency in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't quite.
No one knows what they're doing anymore. We've lost control of the writing team.
Yeah. They've grown too
Just
big.
making shit up now.
Yeah.
What is interesting developments in patch 6.1 and 6.2? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Hydalen's
take that in a
back.
good way.
Zodiac was never destroyed. The Asians are the main villain.
Yeah.
It's back. Hooray.
No.
Oda says that the new variant / Criterion dungeons have close cooperation between the game content team and the scenario team, since NPCs are involved with the dungeons. Well,
That's fair.
I'd hope the scenario team would be involved.
NPC.
I mean, they're dealing with fundamental game lore in these dungeons as well, so it'd be weird if they weren't involved.
I mean, considering there's 10 different endings, so none of them are going to be involved in all of them, pretty clearly.
Yes.
We know that one ending ties to the Lolorito, because we've seen that.
Yeah.
But that leaves like 9 other endings. They're not all going to be involving Lolorito, probably.
No.
There's many other like people in Uldar that they couldn't be involved, like Papa Shan.
Mm-hmm.
And
There'll be lore on lots of characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think they'll all be involved. Like, I don't think Lolorito's going to pop up in the dungeon. I think it's just generic background lore.
Yeah. Moving on for a few notes on the sound team. Imamura says that he was entrusted with composing Scream, and Soken asked Akino to do the vocals. It turns out Akino actually wanted to take part in a Final Fantasy project.
Oh, that was lucky, eh?
Yeah. Lucky.
that's an interesting. How would you, like, a singer that wants to do that? That's so interesting. Like, I mean, I guess, like, how do you choose? One, how does the sound team choose who to approach? And like, two, like, how would the singer go about approaching? Like, I'd like to sing a song for your game.
Yeah. I imagine if Bon Jovi just approaches Riot and he's like, that League of Legends is pretty good. I was hoping to do a song about that.
Yeah.
So, how does that
None
happen?
of
Dear
that
Mr.
arcane shit. I
Soken.
want the actual game.
Yeah.
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 It's very strange.
It is.
I don't know. They must have much big. Well, I suppose. I don't know. They just must have
just
really
kinda
good
like
connections to the music industry. That.
It's like someone and they're like, "Oh, you want to do this?" It's like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
Someone who want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
I
like
don't know how prolific Akino is in the Japanese music industry, other than the fact that she sings like one of the most well-known Japanese opening songs. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're like well-known yourself.
right.
I mean, who knows the people that sung like the Friends theme song?
Oh yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Whoever
Chat,
that
you're
was.
gonna say who
Yeah,
actually
you're
sung
gonna
the
say-
Friends theme song? That's not my point.
No. You have Google. You Googled it. I will never believe you. I will never believe you if you know. Also, I mean, Final Fantasy is a pretty big deal, I think. Like, I think it's well known. If someone is like, "Do you want to do a Final Fantasy song, like for a Final Fantasy game?" That's good exposure, I think. If you're
Right. I think if a game company approaches a musician, that's more like normal.
That's normal.
Workflow.
Yeah.
Then like it would be weird for the singer. Like, it's just unusual for a singer to.
well,
go,
usually
really, I
an
love
artist
doing this normal music, but
Well,
like Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
though.
an artist usually has a manager and an agent that reaches
That is
out
true.
to the companies. So yeah,
Mm.
so it's likely that Akino maybe wanted to. Well, Soken asked. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? This is all weird because this wasn't a request. This was Soken asking. So, well, he
Yeah.
has
Oh,
favorite
like,
artists. I mean, they do that as well. Obviously,
Well,
it happens
that's
in the
true.
Yeah.
reverse as well. Yeah, I remember when they did Florence and the Machines for 15.
I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
of Florence and the Machine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
remember
they did
That-
do
Remember
huh?
the Seer thing for Shadow Endwalker?
Oh yeah,
I didn't like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
I know
well-
you didn't like that. Well, Seer's a very strange. Like Florence and the Machine and Seer are both massive artists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. So I don't know how that happened. I don't know if like Final Fantasy is that big of a draw in the West, but it must be. They got like some of the biggest names at the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
they got Sia just. I think it was. Well, it released after
No,
her
so
controversy,
it
but
released after the controversy, but I suspect they got her before it.
yeah.
yeah. That's
Um,
just awkward timing.
yes, and
And
yeah,
the Benny King version is better than the Florence one anyway. But
I mean, that's also the case with Florence and the Machine chat. They also covered a very old song.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And unfortunately ruined that game for streaming forever. That will always get claimed, it seems, at least on YouTube. I don't think it
Yeah.
was ever claimed when we played it on stream, on Twitch.
No, I don't
But we
think
did
so.
talk over it a lot. So,
Yeah, we purposely did that.
yeah.
Be worried for 16, though 16 is set in a more of a historical setting.
Yes.
So
We'll see how that
it would be
goes.
more difficult.
I'm
I've seen people.
I'm kind of
Yes, Neil?
hoping let's just take a step away from just having some massive like big artist's main song for this. Just have a nice fantasy theme.
Make an
get
original
Uematsu
theme.
back
Yeah,
on it.
that's
make
what
an
I
original
didn't.
theme.
I didn't like that with 15. It's a lovely cover, and I like Florence and the Machine, but it removed the identity. Each Final Fantasy has like a track, right? They have a theme.
Yeah.
And 15 didn't get to have its own theme in that
No.
sense. It didn't have a vocal track that we remember 15 for. We only remember the Florence and the Machine cover at the beginning of the game. That's sort of its introduction theme. It also played again during the credits of the game when we finished it.
That was the game's theme.
That
So it's
was
like,
the theme of the game. Where
Somnus is the closest thing to the main theme.
Yeah,
yes,
and
chat,
Somnus
but I
was good.
also don't think Somnus is anywhere near as well known as being associated with 15.
Right.
As much
Oh,
as it's a good song.
That's sad though. I think that's a shame. They should have had their own unique original track. They could have had Florence and the Machine in there somewhere, like the cover, but to make it the main theme.
I mean, in universe, that is supposed to be Noctis's favorite song.
I understand that, but that kind of makes it even weirder.
That's just them jigging it to make it fit.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. So I hope 16 gets its own track. I don't know if it'll be. That's going to be interesting. I know that we're kind of off track, but we do still have some time left. But the
You know.
oh God, I forgot. It'll be interesting to see if Nobuo Uematsu's actually going to make the music for 16,
I would love
main
that.
track
That's
for
what I
16.
would love.
I don't
Because
think
Soken,
he's going to be involved with
No?
it. I think it's going to be entirely Soken and his team working on the.
But
That-
Soken, we know Soken can make good songs.
that
as well, so-
will probably will that be the first Final Fantasy game with no involvement
don't-
from Uematsu at all?
I don't think Uematsu was. Oh no,
she
involved
was
with
the
15.
Kingdom Hearts lady in 15.
It was Yoko Shimomura in
Yeah,
15.
forgot about that. Okay, well, his era has ended, I guess.
Uematsu's busy. He's got
He gets cigarettes
boxing
to
to watch,
smoke.
or wrestling to watch, and cigarettes to smoke. And beer to
yeah,
drink.
yeah,
He's living
There's
his.
shit
He's
to
finally
do.
able to live his life.
yeah.
Let him get on with it.
He's made enough music.
He's-
It's
He's
okay.
got audio therapy to perform. on
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't make anything for 13 or 12. Oh, you're right. He's actually been out. Well,
That
no,
doesn't
but
surprise me.
he did some tracks, didn't he? At least for one of those games. I'm pretty sure
I
he.
can see him doing tracks in 13. He did the title
Yeah,
song of
see,
12.
he would do
Because
stuff
most
like
of 12
that.
does
Yeah,
not
he
sound
did
like
12.
Uematsu's work at all.
Yeah.
He actually did the ending theme, "Kiss Me Goodbye" in 12.
Yeah. Okay. Kiss Me
I don't
Goodbye.
even remember that
I
song
don't
from
remember,
12,
but
but
yeah.
I guess
Well,
that's the main vocal theme of the game.
Yeah.
And then he obviously did 14, and then he did the 7 remake, and he also did some on 15 Comrades apparently.
Oh, comrades. Can't forget that.
Comrades.
Oh, so he was involved, but in 15, but only Comrades.
In Comrades, yeah, sadly.
That's sad. Yeah, he did do Xanarkand for 10. Didn't he do most of 10?
He did most of 10.
I think
I
that's
did think he
10,
did most of
yeah,
them,
his last
10
major involvement.
Nine-
I think.
No, and
Yeah.
11.
9 was his magnum opus, according to himself.
Yeah, 9
so-
was magnum opus, yeah.
7 and 9 was the Uematsu years. Like that was the
Yeah.
big 3.
hmm
Okay, and the last part here, Soken says that the P8S Part 2 theme is the track that left the biggest impression on him from 6.2. The avant-garde vibe is a genre that hasn't been seen much in 14 so far.
So
I have to
I
wait for that.
don't
you
think I've
have,
heard that.
I know for a fact you have heard it because people have played it during song requests,
Oh,
but
well,
I
it's
don't think
just
you
me.
would have paid
Yeah.
attention.
No.
Yeah.
It's. I think I prefer Embers personally, but I can see who would like it. It gives a sort of like Devil May Cry music theme type feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like pseudo edgy, I guess.
It's a bit butt rock, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could see that song in like an episode of Kill la Kill or something. You know?
Yeah. He
I'll have to have a listen to see
He
if it
is
fits that avant-garde word.
he is kind of entering a butt rock phase. It feels like he's leaning more into that than the
Too
classical.
much fried chicken and beer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he composed it.
Oh,
Because he didn't compose Scream. He could have been.
right. That's true.
I mean,
Oh,
he could have.
That's true.
Maybe it's his new, like, his apprentices. They're all butt rock lovers.
Well, also he is working on 16 right now, isn't he? So he might.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
be-
working on both. Yeah.
Watching his baby crumble away into butt rock.
It is. It is the song.
That's a sentence.
The part. The part 2 theme is the song that is on the EP. Embers is not, so the part 1 theme isn't.
Mhm.
So
Weird choice.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is the Famitsu interview. Yeah, it's an interesting look again into development of 14. We'll have more interviews next week.
Will we? We've got a
Well,
patch to discuss.
it isn't the biggest patch in the world, is it? I mean, we have the Criterion dungeons that we're gonna probably talk, or the variant
And
dungeons
Relic.
at least.
Mm,
And that's about it, yeah.
Relic.
I got the Omicron first impressions.
That's also true. We'll see what we can fit, but
Did they
there-
not say
Mhm.
like, for this first step of the relic, it's going to be just do the quest and you get it anyway, so we'll not have a lot to
Well, I
discuss.
hope not. I hope it's not the same as it was for 5.25, where it was just a single quest. I hope there's more to it. I want something
We'll
to
have
do.
to see.
Yeah. So, whatever it is, there will be a show next week, of course. As always, thanks for watching, and that's the end of the main show. We'll be back, like I said,
Send
next
us
week.
Mog Mail. We need some.
Yes, we'll be back next week,
Mhm,
same place.
please.
Yeah, send us messages. Messages. Send us Mog Mail.
Messages.
Yeah.
Don't DM us.
Speakersxiv.com
Or
slash
send
Mog Mail.
messages.
Don't send messages.
Just say like you are nice.
Are you doing this
That'd be
again? We've already. I feel like this is a bit we've done before. DM Mailer something, and he'll send you a dick pic or something.
He's the one that will respond
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, he's the only one who
Well,
will
right.
respond out of it. He's the only one who yearns for contact.
I need. I'm so lonely.
He is very lonely, so talk to Mela.
So lonely.
All right. Stay tuned. If you're watching live, we'll be doing the post show. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, !Discord and chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Yeah, like I said, Mogmail, SpeakersXIV.com/Mogmail, and post show where we'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. We'll start right after this if you're watching live. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.